probably like drop an enemy into the void, and then yeah, and gravity magic, and you just like toss them back and forth. Yeah. Curse nullification. That's pretty sick. I mean, like you can just ignore curses and like, I mean, still, this is a pretty good skill power. Let's check out their weapons. Obsidian Kalpesh. If I'm like freaking uh demolishing these words, yeah. Anyway, it is a hardened and etched. Oh, hardened and etched by secret Endurian and ancient means. They are bound to the user, glowing and dripping with Endurian fire and the dragon's breath. Can be attached to his arms with magic for long range whipping attacks. I mean, I don't like to be whipped, but that's pretty sick. Uh, yeah, I mean, attached to the arms I mean, that would look pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Uh, let's see. Chorus, Chorus Staff slash Ender Grimoire. Tools of his homeland. The staff is made with the fibers and stones of the end and is housed as its core is a star stone, a rare item full of magic power, once believed to be a part of the stars around them falling to their island. The tome acts as a storage and grants the ability to bind, heal, or shield the user and the opponent. I mean, I had some words, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, huh. Though some tools from his homeland. I mean, pretty interesting. Uh, At least the active storage. I honestly, I mean, it's a pretty interesting character. The Enderanian. Uh, like, it's, it's interesting. Alright? Now, on to the next one. Let's do Arctic Luna. You see? Yeah. Wait. I think, oh, no, it's still there. Alright. Name Arctic Luna. Formerly Arctic Frost. Powers Mystic Magic and Spells. Base Magic. Illusions. Dark Magic. Hellfire. Divinity. Blood Magic. Special Skill. Mystic Death. A magical energy that can instantly or slowly kill whoever it touches. On how the user uses it. I mean, those are some pretty sick, powers, dude. Yeah. Sorry, I had something in my mouth. Yeah, pretty sick indeed. Uh, some blood magic, divinity, hellfire, dark magic. I mean, that dark magic and divinity, I feel like those are conflicting powers. But I mean, I guess anyone can have different types of spells, or like opposite. Uh, what's the word? I don't know, but what you'll know. Yeah. The Arctic was born of Apollo, not the Greek. Frost, a god with an elven appearance, and Ares, not Greek. Frost, the former queen of mystic elves, also known as mystic. Fuck my pronunciation. Though born as royalty, Arctic never wanted to be. I probably should read that. Though born as royalty, Arctic never wanted to be. He just wanted to be a protector, a beacon of peace amongst all the races and realms. But during his early teen years, tragedy struck. While the other half of I am really just skipping ahead. That is my bad. Half the Mysticans, including his parents, were massacred while the other half just vanished, leaving behind Arctic, his older sister Eclipse, and two others, his former bodyguard Sky and Jinx, a random Mystican. He was taken in by Solar, the queen of the gods and goddesses of his race's religion, who turned out to be his actual mother. He was prophesied to be the only one to defeat a powerful evil, including ending a centuries long war. Once the war was over, Solar decided to have Arctic venture outside of the realms into the world where Arctic met and joined that later became to be known as the Envy Guardians. Well, this stuff is really in depth. I mean, well, this is like some really background, really good writing and very good descriptive experiences for this Arctic. Yeah, yeah. What I get from this is that Arctic has definitely been through a lot. Definitely. Basically, his whole entire freaking well, like I'm trying. My mind is like blanking on the words. But yeah, he has had a lot of death and losses in his freaking life. R.I.P. to the man. You know. Yeah. All right. Interesting picture. I think it looks really cool. Uh, very uh eye catching. I would say the mystic in the elves slash mysticans. Uh, yeah. The mystic elves, also known as mysticans, are a race of elves known for their deep connection with magic. They were compassionate, cared about nature and wildlife, were welcoming to other races until the beginning of humanity occurred. Traveling between the realms and Earth was a rare thing for humans to do, but the ones who could took advantage races of the races of the realms, either killing them, enslaving them, or using them for a live experience. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, human beings are like, take. I'll take what I want, and that's it. Yada yada yada, and so on and so forth. I mean, you can tell just by real life. Anyway, uh, with this came Ares, newly crowned Mystican Queen King. The two people, Arctic's mother, Solar, queen of the Mexican gods and goddesses, used to bring Arctic in the world. These tyrants were genocidal psychopaths who wanted to conquer all the realms. And did I skip something? I feel like I skipped something. I skipped it here, but whatever. Used to bring Arctic into the world. These tyrants were genocidal psychopaths who wanted to conquer all the realms in Earth until the army of demons killed them and 96% of the Mystican race. That's a pretty big portion, you know? Yeah. Leaving behind Arctic, his older sister, Eclipse, who led a resistance against the Overlord. Interesting. Overlord demoness that killed their race. Their bodyguard, Sky and Jinx, a random Mexican who joined the resistance. The Mexicans were extinct for years until Arctic, having godly blood, restored the Mexican race. Unfortunately, now in the present, the Mexicans are extinct again, with only Arctic, his two young kids, his older sister Eclipse, and his now brother-in-law Sky, being the last ones alive. Dang, that was some really interesting storytelling. It's that was really hooking and very in depth. I mean, yeah, but this character very traumatized. I would feel like considering how everything would go with in their life with all the death and 96% of their race getting basically just wiped off the earth like Thanos snapped, you know? Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff. Uh, yeah. Pretty crazy stuff. On to the next one. Marlene. Powers, chaos control. Uh, question mark, order control. I mean, if it's chaos order, I mean, I don't know, I think. magic minor, though he doesn't know it yet. Hmm. First spell, Field of Flowers. I mean that gotta be pretty, you know? That gotta be really pretty. You just like you cast that spell and you're just like in a valley of flowers and it's like very cozy. Besides all the pollen that's probably gonna be there. RIP to my allergies, but yeah. Uh, Chaos slash Frenzy. This is the one of the skills that this character has. At this moment in time, Merlin can only access a tiny portion of the chaos energy that he has been granted, as his body cannot cope with the tremendous amount of power it holds, as his body will force itself to shut down if he uses too much power. To save itself from losing control, potentially causing life-threatening damage to himself. Frenzy has the ability to negate and distort the rules of the universe. And the power within it, for example, if you were to try to use foresight on it, the outcomes would be too much and it would negate the power. Weapons, acts of Khonshu. This act was found by Merlin when he and the group were in Egypt. This axe gains more power at night, and the full extent of this weapon has yet to be revealed by Merlin. I mean, hey, eventually you just unlock it, you know? And you'd be like, kapow. Yeah. Scepter of Ra. This feels like some very Egyptian, uh, like a very Egyptian character. This scepter is Merlin's only form of healing, as this weapon draws its strength from the sun, and its powerful rays gently granting Merlin a boost to his frenzied powers can be used as a tool to heal himself. Others, when needed, the more and others. Uh, the one bad thing about when reading type of stuff with no periods or anything like that. Oh yeah. Uh, can heal a tool that to heal himself and others when needed. The more energy this scepter draws, the hotter the flames become, and the more health it can grant upon healing. I mean that's pretty OP right there. That's pretty crazy. I mean it gives you like basically infinite health, you know? Yeah. Staff of Frenzy. Frenzy Flame. I'm sorry, I think of like freaking Elden Ring. Uh, Merlin's first weapon. This weapon is a way for Merlin to channel his frenzied powers to deal devastating blows. This weapon has a second form that's known as the Blade of Disorder. This is more to be revealed at this moment. Well, there is more to be revealed at this moment in time, but all that can be said for now is the maker of this blade took inspiration of one he holds at this moment in time. That is pretty fire indeed, you know? Pretty fire. Uh, it seems like this character feels like a very much, like a healer, more like a healer character, but it's still pretty interesting, you know? With the acts of Khonshu. I mean, it's kind of like you leave it to imagination what can happen because the axe has not been revealed. Like the power, how much power that axe has doesn't is not known. You know? Yeah. Still a pretty interesting character. Uh, yeah. I'll give like ratings to all of these at the end, which is gonna be a minute. But yeah, pretty interesting character. On to the next one. All right. So this is Doki. I mean, I'm gonna read this word for word because you know everyone put their heart and soul into writing every last word. All right. Starting off, before we start, let's get a picture of who Doki really is or was. Interesting. Doki was the son of Marco, the person who was a combat person who wanted to pass down his teachings to his sons. Mon, Doki, Samuel, Blood, and Roman. Since Marco was the most respected in his realm, we had a lot of pressure against us, and some interest in a lord. Hmm Who is a lord? Or I don't know. But yeah, onward. After years passed, Doki and his brothers were bred to be warriors until one fateful night. Marco made a deal with a man. Interesting. For something in return. Marco agreed, then out of nowhere got killed by him. Outrage. Roman and Samuel rushed at him. Uh, as blood hit Doki's face, it wasn't the man's blood, it was his brother's blood. In anger, Doki ran at him, but blood stopped him as the man impaled Blood's chest right in front of Doki. R.I.P. man. R.I.P. Doki then smashed his sword against the man's in rage as he pushed Doki and slashed his blade all over Doki's face. Damn, bro just got slashed and crashed. I don't know. Anyway, he then proceeded to stab him as well as grabbing his neck and throw him out into the forest. Damn, that is just like some brutal, brutal crap. Then, as Doki hit the ground, everything around him froze. Trees, air, everything. Doki woke up seeing a massive demon in his sight. The demon gave Doki a deal: die or serve as a servant to death to me. Do- Doki, desperate to keep his life back. Then after that. Wow, I just really just said that wrong. Doki, desperate to get his life back, agreed. Then after that, Doki woke up against a tree with a mask in his hand. Doki put on the mask, and when he did, Doki made a promise. I will become the strongest there ever was. I went to a place called Envy to be a hero to people so that they didn't experience the pain he had. And now, on a path to become the strongest. That is a pretty, this right here, all of this is a really good way of giving, like, painting a picture of, like, who Doki is. And it really does show, like, man, or lost his freaking brothers in the most traumatic way possible. I mean, whoever him was pretty tricky, conniving, and yeah. Let's see. Name Doki. As we already know. Abilities Bloodlust. I mean that kind of makes sense. Combos, sword attacks, bow attacks, AoE, cosmic powers, voice command attacks. That's pretty killer. Until like your mouth is shut or something like that, you know? Things he does. He hates talking. He only talks to people he trusts. Loves fighting. Likes to think outside the box. Loves goth girl baddies. I mean, who doesn't, bro? I'm just kidding. I mean, they could be pretty toxic, you know, pretty toxic. Age 19, height 5'8". I mean, you're still short, broski. Anyway, titles: Breaker of Death, Dead Hero, the Champion, Mister Fights a Lot, Combat God. His personality: reckless, freaky. I mean, I could just tell you look freaky. Gym rat, ego, oh whatever, egoist, scared of women. I mean, you're into goth baddies, so that makes sense. Rage baiter and D1 hater. Damn. Yeah, that's that's pretty crazy indeed. Um, it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Good background story. Good way to show everyone or tell everyone what your character is about. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, on to the next one. This one I already know is gonna be super long since I kind of already read this one and I kind of know how long this is. So yeah, be forewarned about it. All right, for this character, their name is Andrew uh Valis. Valis. I'll butcher that last name. But yeah, they are 2,401 years old. They're super old. Super old. Uh, they're a soldier Illumine. Lumina? Lumina. Something. Uh, Guardian of Envy. Tasmanian. And they are the protector of Envy, Guardian of Peace and Balance. They're 6 feet. Uh, pretty tall. Pretty tall. I mean, technically by U.S. standards. I think the what's considered tall is like 6'2". So I think they're considered average still. But yeah, um, they are lean, muscular, battle hardened, battle hardened yet graceful. They have like a palish skin, like almost erythral, whatever. I'm bad with words sometimes. Forgive me, or whatever. With scars from battles past. Their eyes are like deep, glowing, crimson, radiant with blood magic and divine power. They got like long, wavy, silvery white with platinum streaks, often wild and untamed. They got like this aura. It's pretty interesting. I mean, who thinks of an aura when they're making a character? But yeah, a divine energy that fluctuates between calmly radiant and fierce destructive power. They got some crimson wings, large ethereal wings formed from her blood magic, glowing with a deep red hue. They are symbiotic. Bruh, too much speaking, you know? Yeah, I haven't even drunk some water, broski. They are symbiotic of both her power and her burden, providing immense speed and agility in combat. Man, it's always good to have some wings, you know? Yeah, it lets you fly away, fly away. Some armor, flexible, form-fitting armor with crimson veins that pulse with divine and blood magic. Light yet durable, worn, excuse me, worn under a flowing crimson and gold trim cloak, fit for both battle and ceremonial purposes. Or purpose. Weapon. Let's see what this weapon is. A large glowing crimson bladed sword made from celestial bruh, and blood forged materials. The blade is a manifestation of her power. Its strength grows with her blood magic. She can also form many weapons with the blood. The crimson, crimson. I think you may need to fix that. But anyway, does not equal blood magic, which makes her approach of attack a mystery. Yeah. Okay. I I got mixed up there. Anyway, abilities and powers. Crimson, magic, divine, and destructive power. I mean, yeah, that kind of makes sense with the sword and all that. Crimson Flame. Cool. Description conjures and controls intense divine crimson flames that can purify, destroy, cleanse corruption. And cleanse corruption. I probably should pronounce that right. Anyway, it can heal or burn depending on Andrew's intent. That's pretty sick, you know? Pretty sick. Crimson Aura. A description, a radiant aura of crimson energy that boosts Andrew's strength, speed, and reflexes, making her overwhelming in battle. It also acts as a shield, absorbing minor magical or physical attacks. Uh, Provides offensive and defensive advantages. I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, a shield. I mean, anything in like a character always like a character with a shield is always gonna have a good defense. Or I mean, yeah. Divine regeneration. Description heals Andrew's wounds over time by drawing upon celestial energy Illumina. If I'm butchering this, it's because I've never had to pronounce this out loud. So forgive me. Can also be used to heal others, but the process is slow and requires concentration. Crystal ores as well assist with this issue. I mean, at least you get a solution to the problem. I mean, these guys probably come in clutch. No, we're going to talk more about the wings, crimson wings. Andrew can sprout large, radiant crimson wings from her blood magic, allowing her to fly at incredible speeds and agility. The wings also serve as a shield in battle, capable of blocking attacks, but this does hurt her the worst. I mean, you're getting shot in the back, basically, so that makes sense. I mean, all the vital organs and everything, and yada yada yada. Provides mobility, agility, and protection. I mean, that makes sense. Hellblade Ignition. Demonic Hellblade Hellfire attack, or in Andrew's case, Crimson Divinity, is a long range attack that can be used at a distance or blank range. Um, I mean, I would assume it's just like basically a big fireball, something like that, or it'd be like bladed attack, you know? Flame of Redemption. A special form of crimson flame that does not burn but purifies. It cleanses darkness from souls or purifies cursed areas. I mean, cursed areas, pretty bad go. I mean, it's definitely good for when you're going to like those type of areas from like another person doing that type of stuff. You know? Yeah. Requires great emotional focus and physical energy, and it can take time to fully purify. Celestial Strike. Uh, summons a comet of divine energy from the heavens to strike enemies. It has both destructive and restorative effects depending on its use. It seems like this character has a lot of like dual like powers. Like one of like it seems like each one has basically it can do damage and it can like restore. It can heal and it can also yada, you know? Yeah. It can be used to clear large areas or strike down powerful opponents. I guess it does it makes sense if it takes a lot of energy out of the person, out of Unju. Blood manipulation. Andrew can manipulate her own blood, others' blood, using it to form weapons, control enemies, and heal herself. Blood whips, spears, and blades can be summoned from her blood. I mean, it is pretty crazy. I mean, imagine you just like walking around, all of a sudden you just see your blood, you be taken out or something like that, or just be controlled. Because yeah, it's pretty crazy, pretty crazy power. Controls enemies. I mean, yeah, as we read, creation weapons, pretty cool, and healing. I mean, look. Uh, it feels like each one of these is a dual-sided power. But yeah, anyway, Crimson Blade creation. Andrew can summon deadly blood-bladed weapons that are as strong as steel, capable of cutting through enemies with ease. Versatile weapons for offense and defense. Blood Shield creates a protective barrier made of blood capable of absorbing physical and magical attacks for a limited time. That's pretty good. Uh, Weathering damage lending. Andrew wears the armor of Syphilis. Probably not syphilis, but yeah. Which allows her to absorb and transfer damage she receives, lending it to others. Interesting. What is this? Letting go. The light they asked me to carry. The same fire that burns my hands raw. Still, they ask if I'm warm, and I nod, because telling the truth would mean showing them how cold I've become. They only know how to feed on warmth, for I am both soldier and protector, yet never treated as such, called to guard the very ones who would watch me bleed without lifting a hand in return. I am I'm the hinge that bleeds to keep the door turning, the that shadow between their shadows, the silence that swallows the storms they start. When voices rise and tempers break, I stand between them, taking cuts meant for each other. Just so the walls won't come down around us all, but walls don't thank the hands that hold them up. I speak to friend and enemy alike, to the ones who love me in daylight, and the ones who would see me drown by night and keep the threads from snapping. Even as they wrap tighter around my throat, and when my voice falters, they call it quiet. Never hearing the strain it takes not to scream, I watch new faces arrive, and I stand in the doorway, offering a smile heavy with exhaustion. So they would never know the rot and the floor beneath us. I watch old faces leave, their eyes heavy with the same knowing I carry. They go because they have seen what it costs to stay. I am drowning in plain sight, but they do not see because I have taught them so well how to walk over water without feeling the bodies beneath. My knees give way when the bridge finally splinters. They will stand on the shore, looking at the empty place where I stood, and call me selfish for letting go. And that's some pretty deep stuff. Pretty deep stuff. Whew, that was a lot. That was a lot to dig into, and I applaud your devotion to this. Uh, it's very in depth, very visualize. It has you can visualize everything very clearly. Uh, yeah, and the this right here definitely very deep, very deep. Onto this one. Holy mackerel. Uh, alright, you ready for this? Name Kira. Powers Warp of Warp. That's interesting. Soul Form Lightning. Favorite skill Kaju Pala. What is Warp of Warp? The Warp of Warp is an eye that wields the power of time. Reality, fire, and water. With this, he has full access to each power and even divinity thanks to Akira being creative. But there is one ability that comes with it. In sacrifice of a finger, Akira can erase someone from existence, but only can do so much as for returning that finger returns the person he removed. This is the last ace in the fight if he ever had to use it. Interesting. We're going about to get a backstory of this character. Akira was a boy who was brought up by Fell and left in a different school with kids who had powers. One day they decided to do a bounty the government, aka Jester, once made to get rid of Error. So the group head off to the Museum of Jester, where Error was inside, and in the museum was an emerald was an emerald what Akira's friend took without anyone seeing. So he thought, but the group went to the mini courtyard Error was in and started their mission. In this in this, Error tried killing Hikira with a dagger, aka Error's dagger, but thanks to Fel's training, he disarmed Error and killed him. Dang. R.I.P. Error. Yeah. Once it was confirmed Error died, Jester, the last son of Darren, and the ruler of the city of congratulate the group and allowed Akira to keep the dagger as a reward. But then, when they returned to the school, Jester appeared to reclaim what was stolen from the museum. And to save Akira's friend from taking any actions, Akira took the emerald and claimed it was him who stole it, became of his actions. Akira was taken and was set to be executed in a few days. Oh, man, and went from kind of cheerful to freaking execution. Oh, wow. The group set off to find Crimson, the son of Cade, and Selene, and Sage, the son of Selene and Fire. Once everyone was found, they set. Whoa. Once everyone was found, they set off to free Hikira from instead of fighting Jester, it was Darren. They won, but at the cost made enemies with the city, and so they left and went to Sage's old hideout. And with that, they grew up as a family. Not long after, an incident or a fight happened, and Hikir and the others from the group had left and started to find a new home. And that time, they met a man called Cryptid. Interesting. Ooh, a little bit. Cryptid allowed them to join his city in return. Oh, and in return, they had to help him look after it. And so they did. Many normal days went by until Hikira and Cryptid were meet with a familiar being, aka Error. I thought he was dead. Interesting, interesting. And so they battled. Though Error had two people to fight, he had the higher advantage in the. Oh, wait. Though Error had two people to fight, he had the higher advantage in the battle and killed Cryptid. In the fit of rage, Hikura had put everything in one attack to blast him away, and it worked. So Hikura rushed to help Cryptid, but he couldn't. In his last breath, Hikura became the leader of the city. The last safe human city was now in his care. Hikira said did a good job during his time ruling, even trained a kid with lightning powers. Cool. And became stronger than Hikira was expecting, but this made him proud. After a few brawls with Jester, Hikira ended up in a coma. No. This was by the end. Once he woke up and realized all he knew was to get out, and in his attempt, he met a kid with 6 astral bodies. Whoa, 6. Crazy. Because Hikira fell, and came and saved him. In the end, the kid as well. This is more, but to sum it up, okay. Hikaru took revenge in the end and got the gatekeeper's staff, killed Jester, but lost the city to a war. Was helped by the Titans to save it, but ended up having to leave. A while longer, he killed the same Titan that helped him. Had to fight an artificial Jester and traded lives, became a teacher of paddling, and was granted their armor. Returned with the group, and in the end, helped fight Cryptid one last time. More about Akira. Let's see. Let's read what this has to say. Was born as a singularity, meaning he isn't bound to anyone's fate apart from his own. Is a son of El. Okay. Wielded the true Excalibur. Whoa. Something that changed. Killed a celestial level jester in a divine form in one attack. Beat J in only weapon combat after his rebirth as immortal. Summon blah, 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 blah. Empowered it with his own lightning to beat a Kaiju robot made by Jessup. Secure state and forms. Formed of divinity. Alright, let's see. What is around angel level? When he used it, probably can go toe to toe with J. Soul state allows Hikiri to become a spirit and phase through attacks and walls. Hikiri's weapon, Soul Sword. Hikiri can infuse his sword with Soul Fire to empower its soul ability, making any contact through attacks will instantly damage the soul or even kill it. Sword of Heroes will eventually get into Fell's bio. You know, this is just part one. We're doing this in parts, 100%. Lance of Rupture. A reality-breaking lance, what causes damnation in its wake. No dome or realm made things stand in his presence. Kinshu, or whatever it was called. A katana so powerful one slash can make it someone's weakness, even if it's immortal. Oh damn! So it's an immortal, just freaking katana or sword. I feel like whatever. Can kill an immortal. That's pretty killer, literally. Trident of Light. A trident what gives Hikira access to solar energy, lightning, void energy, and pure light energy. Cool. Sign blades of paladin armor. Hikira's armor comes with 2 side blades, what are made of palladium and can be infused in divine energy. Alright. So this pretty interesting indeed. Pretty cool. Uh I was a lot to it. Yeah. Interesting powers, especially singularity, basically meaning there's basically nothing like if it was like a time being, you couldn't like mess with this version. Like if it was like a yeah, because the fate's not bound to anything. But pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna rate. We still got a whole bunch more to go through, but yeah, we are gonna rate this all these ones So what I rate this, I would give it a pretty good 6.5 uh, out of 10. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Uh, yeah. I feel like it's. I mean, I'm not gonna be busting no chops or anything like that because yeah. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna give like any advice because I, I mean, it's more so like the right style. But yeah, uh, yeah, 6.5 out of 10. It's interesting character. Skill wise, it's semi good compared to other ones. Uh, Still pretty powerful. On the scale, we're gonna go down now. There's one. Pretty OP. I feel like there's a lot of healing. A lot of pretty killer abilities. Uh, Crimson Flame, Divine Disruptive, can cleanse, can heal, can burn. Basically anything. I mean, I feel like all these freaking abilities all like basically fill up every single like weakness you could have, almost kind of. But yeah, I give this one a 7 out of 10, just considering how in depth it is and how pretty killer this character is. This one, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10 just because he loves goth baddies, you know? Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. Uh, it was interesting. Pretty sad considering uh death. Yada. Yeah, a lot of death. Brothers dying. Yeah. I will get this a 6 out of 10. Uh, just because it's super short. I mean, I'm kind of glad it was super short because this would have been really long talk. You know, it's pretty long. But yeah, yeah, interesting abilities. Cosmic powers. Voice commands are kind of pretty crazy. I mean, it's kind of it has a lot of like weaknesses considering uh voice commands. Uh, you can just like freaking get rid of the vocal cords or something like that. I don't know. I'm not gonna get all violent with that. Bloodlust, combos, sword attacks, bow attacks, AOE, cosmic power. I mean, cosmic powers, not very descriptive. I mean, there's a lot you could put that into. I mean, it gives you more, freaking, creativity of what you could do. So, yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, 6 out of 10. On to the next one. Marlene, chaos control, order control. I mean, you can like make people go crazy, something like that with chaos. I would assume. Uh, Basically, this character does not know how much power or what it can do. Basically, some of the weapons are not even at their full might. I want to give this like a 5.9 out of 10 just because uh I'm going about all of the skill and then also writing and all that crap. Yeah, 5.9 out of 10 just because this character has not unlocked his full potential yet. I mean, once he probably does, uh, they are probably gonna be pretty overpowered, pretty powerful, and I would bump it up to a 7 out of 10, kind of. Yeah, I mean probably like a 6.9. But yeah, onto Arctic. This one really cool. I like the idea. I like how in depth it is. Yeah, pretty cool. I like all the backstory, everything like that. It's really nice. It was a really good read. Very good character. Uh, the powers, mystic and magic masters can spells. That's pretty good. Illusions, that's cool too. Dark magic, hellfire, divinity, blood magic. Yeah, and then mystic death. That's actually pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I want to give this also a 7.4 out of 10. I know I'm gonna be so specific. I can't give like a 10 out of 10 because it would be like yo, you can't nothing be a 10 out of 10 really. I'm like oh that's only if you want like a piece someone's Uh, yeah, basically just a peace song. But yeah, I think this is a really cool character. Uh, interesting. I love the backstory and what you did with it. Uh, but yeah, that is what I give it on the rating. And on to the last one, Jack. Um, interesting. Curse Evocation. That's a really good skill. Void gravity magic. That's cool too. Uh, Earth magic. Uh, and then basically zombies. Mm, I mean, yeah, that's basically what necromancy is basically the zombies. Dragon Breath, pretty cool. Warpy, yeah, pretty cool too. Um, but yeah, I want to give this one a 5 point. No, I'm not gonna do that. I want to say a 6.3, 6.2. Yeah, 6.2 out of 10. Um, it leaves a lot of wanting to, because it feels like there's some stuff that this character has like a major chink in its armor or something like that. Uh but yeah, I mean it's still a cool idea. Like everything I've seen today, really cool. I enjoyed it. Everyone who's written these and like put their effort into it, I applaud you. And I want to say you all did a really good job on making your characters. And also, for those of you watching, thank you for watching if you made it this far. And part two will be coming eventually. But yeah, thank you again, and I'll catch you in the next video.